World Cup's going on. Now, World Cup starts off with something called group play. Now, I haven't explained this in any of the videos so far. I just kind of assume people know it, but I'll give you a basic rundown. And what happens in group play is you have groups A through H, however many that is. You can do the math for me. So what they do is they have 4 teams in each group. Each team plays the other teams once, and whoever has the most points advances to the knockout rounds, the quarterfinals, semifinals, so on. How you get points is each win that you have counts as 3 points. Each draw that you have counts as 1 point. Now, in soccer, the reason why America does not love it that much is ties are commonplace. A lot of people tie, especially when you're on a neutral field. It happens a lot. Goalies can have a great game or a bad game, and it doesn't matter what the players do in front of you if your goalie's just amazing. So a lot of teams, even if you draw twice, if you get 1 win, you get 5 points, you're almost automatically going to advance. So I'm just going to break down group by group what's going on. Some people have already won and advanced because we've had 2 games for some groups, 1 game for the other ones. But I'll just kind of give you who I think is going to advance or who already is advancing. So let's start with Group A. Now this is the group that features the home country, Brazil, and Mexico. Those are the 2 teams that are really the class of this group. Those are the teams that are already good. I bet you are going to go through. Like Mexico already won, so did Brazil, and Mexico and Brazil tied yesterday. So it was a 0-0 tie, not too interesting, but if you're a soccer fan, you loved it. So those are the 2 teams I believe are going out of Group A. Then Group B, this one was a pretty big shocker because you had Spain in there, coming in ranked #1 in the world. After 2 games, they're done. They lost to the Netherlands 5-1, and then they come back and they lose to Chile 3-2, I believe, or something like that, or 2-0. Sorry, and they're done. That is the defending champion gone out of the World Cup. See you later, España. You're gone. I don't know how this happened. I'll never understand it because they're supposed to be
Isn't that one of the
great.
exciting things, I guess, about the World Cup? Anything can happen, you know?
I guess, or anybody could just not show up. I mean, I don't know what was going on in Spain. They won the most 3 recent major tournaments, which was Europa 2008, World Cup 2010, Europa 2012. I mean, I don't know what happened. It's crazy. Like, that roster is literally some of the best players in the world. I mean, I actually know almost like 6 players from that roster. That means you are good. If I know that many players on your team, you are good. And they just blew it. And they're known for their defense, and their defense is really what let them down. And then their offense just never got going. So that'll do it to you.
Maybe they got too cocky and decided to go easy in group play, save things up for later, thinking that they were just going to be good, and all the other teams decided to bring their top game because they knew they were going against Spain, and it was a kind of a mismatch. I mean, you'd think that over the course of the game they would see something like that coming so that it wouldn't really cause a problem, but yeah, I don't know.
But no, that's an excellent point. I mean, being the champion, you have that bullseye on your back. Everybody's gunning for you. That is the game everybody's is getting up for. I'm circling this one on my calendar. We're playing the best. We need to bring our best. So it's just unfortunate for Spain that they didn't bring their best at all. They didn't even bring their worst. I don't even know what to call it. Doo-doo is what they brought. Big heaps of doo-doo. That's it.
Very
just
large.
doo-doo. Very large mounds of doo-doo. Yes. I'll stop elaborating on the doo-doo that they brought. But so out of that group, you're looking at Netherlands, who actually was the other team that they played in the World Cup final back in 2010. They're doing spectacular. They just beat Australia yesterday. They're automatically through. Chile has won their 2 games. They beat Australia, and then they beat Spain. So those 2 teams are already through, and the other 2 teams are already out. So that's Group B for you. Group C, you have Colombia. They're playing the best soccer that they've played since Pablo Escobar bought their team.
When was that?
1994. 90s, early 90s.
That's quite a while. That's, 20 years now?
Yeah,
Okay.
So they're playing really good soccer right now. They played a really close game today against, I believe it was the Ivory Coast, and they won 2-1. So it's looking like they're advanced. I don't know if they're a lock for it yet, but it does look like they're going to advance. You have Costa Ivory. Cote d'Ivory, or Ivory Coast, as some people might call it, but their initials are CIV, so I'm going to call them Cote d'Ivory.
You would.
Yeah, I would. I do that sometimes. But yeah, they have a lot of really good players, really excellent striker in Drogba, but they're not really bringing it, so it's not looking like they're going to make it out. It's really looking... Actually, you know what?
It's kind of a weird name for that.
I just read Costa Ivory. No, I think they will get through. I take it back. I think they will get through. Japan and Greece are the other two teams in their group, and those two aren't going to make it through. So take everything I just said about Costa Ivory. Wherever I said loss, insert win, and advance. Just do that for me real quick with your own home editing. I'll wait. Oh, thank you for doing that for me. I appreciate that. Yeah. So
Japan there.
Japan, Pikachu is letting them down because we talked about this. They're sponsored by Nintendo, and their mascot is Pikachu. And Pikachu has not been electrocuting players on the field. He hasn't brought like Squirtle or Bulbasaur or any of those other guys to come in and help. All I know is that Bulbasaur was smart. He just put some of his vines under the ground, and whenever a player from the opposing team was on a breakaway, just a little vine pops up and trips him. Could it hurt? No.
This is going to be just like their console sales lately. You know, it's going to be a slow start, but then they're going to release Mario Kart 8. Everything's going to start picking up, and they're going to hit into high gear.
Yeah, but really, what's already happened is since I believe they lost their first two games, they're already out of it. So it'd be like if they released a new console and then we're like, hey, we're going to release this for Wii U now. You know, so they waited until the race was over to really step up their game. So, yeah. So Costa Ivory and Colombia are going to be coming out of Group C. Moving on to Group D. Now, this is a very interesting group because you have Italy, England, and Uruguay, or Uruguay. I don't know how people want to pronounce it. If you know the proper pronunciation of it, let me know in comments down below. I don't know how you do that. I guess
there are ways to annotate that properly. If you really want, you could record yourself saying it and email it to us, I guess.
Yeah, wordsfrommyface.com. We get stuff like that. Not wordsfrommyface.com. Wordsfrommyface@gmail.com is what I meant to say. Hey, it's an email address. We get emails there. But yeah, so
we'll play it on the show next week. You know,
yeah.
Say, here's how you properly say it. We'll play it with you. We'll give you a shout out. Everything to you.
Exactly. So they're probably the class of this. Uruguay is probably the class of this group. Now, this might have been considered a group of death had it not been for the actual group of death, which we'll get into in a little bit. But they're playing well now that Suarez is back. Suarez was out their first game. They lost their first game. And he has come back, and he scored 2 goals in his first game today. So they're looking like they're going to battle and advance. England, I mean, you guys invented soccer, and you're already out of the World Cup. I mean, come on, guys. Come on.
I think I said that. I think I said a couple weeks ago, whenever it was, I said didn't expect much from England.
No. I don't. Yeah, watch the tape. I will not go back through that tape because I have no idea where that tape would be. But they're blowing it. I mean, again, they're the country that says that they invented soccer, and they're not even making it out of the group play stage. So there's something wrong with them there. They did come up against a really good Italy team who kind of stole it away from them in the last minute, but they just got kind of murdered. Not murdered, but they were outplayed. So my guess is actually Italy and Uruguay. See, if you notice me looking down, it's because I'm saying these things and I'm like, wait, did I really say that? Yes, I really did say that. So those are going to be the 2 teams that advance out of that one. Italy is just one of those traditional powers that always seems to get through. But, I mean, you have 2 of the biggest powers in football, or soccer. I'm watching too much World Cup because they all call it football there, but that's not the real football. Those are the 2 of the biggest powers in soccer every year. I mean, I don't think these 2 teams ever drop out of the top 10 like in the past 50 years. So they're already out of the tournament. Ugh, you know, maybe we're getting a little more parity in the game, which is not a bad thing. Ask the NFL. Parity is an amazing thing to have in your game. So that's pretty cool. But yeah, so you're gonna have Uruguay and Italy advancing.
Football, so yeah. That's why we love the NFL football.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, because of the parity. And then in group...
Tackles.
And tackles. And touchdowns. and just everything about it. Just it's a thinking man's sport, honestly. Football is. If you don't like to think, don't watch the sport. That's all I'm gonna say. Leave it there. I'm not calling you dumb if you don't like football.
We'll get back to the other football. We'll do that.
Yeah, let's go back to football. That's how I'm gonna differentiate football and football. 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 I like saying football better than football, though. I don't know. I wonder why that is. It's just a little more fun to say football. All right, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make football American football because I like saying football better than football. So, haha, I'm stealing the real name because I like it better. Because I can do that. I have my own show. It's called Where's My Face? I can do whatever I want. Well, you know.
There's nothing to really say to that rant. But...
You can't say nothing because it's my show. Do you want to get kicked off? You're kicked off. All right, I'm just joking. You're the producer. I need you. Uh-oh, Chewbacca's angry. Uh-oh. He wants me to move on to Group E. So in Group E, you have France, Sweden, Ecuador, and Honduras. Really what we're seeing here is that France and Sweden are the class of this group. Ecuador and Honduras, whereas they're playing the hardest, just seems like they're outmatched. So I have France and Sweden moving on. Then in Group F, you have Iran, Argentina, Nigeria, and BIH. And BIH is Bosnia and Herzegovina, I believe it is. We're actually watching them play this weekend, and my sister-in-law said the name like 15 times, and I still don't know how to pronounce it, so stuff happens.
B.
What is B? Oh, BIH. B. You are now B. I like that. That is... I'm going to do it in the announcer voice. Introducing B. I wonder if they'd like to come out to that. I don't know. If you're from Bosnia and Herzegovina, let me know in comments. If you're from B, let me know if you don't like me calling you B. Comments down below. Head us up. But yeah, it's looking like Messi, the best player in the world, is going to lead Argentina past those guys. Now, Iran, this is the first time in the World Cup for a really long time, so I don't know what they're going to be able to do. And Nigeria and BIH just don't look that great, so I'm actually going to give it the nod to Iran. I think they're going to make it through. And, you know, my heart goes out to all the people in Nigeria. I really wish that this team could do something good for you because, and I'm going to take it a little more serious note, because of all the craziness that's going on there. You have a group called Boko Haram that is just harassing that entire country. They're actually targeting places where people go to watch the World Cup and suicide bombing them. So I hope you guys can find a safe place to watch the game and enjoy it in the peace and comfort that you deserve. You don't deserve what's going on there. So, again, my hearts and thoughts go out to all you in Nigeria. I wish you the best. I hope you will advance, but I have to give my honest opinion, and I'm not sure that you will. Damn, I bummed myself out right there. I don't like bumming myself out.
I know. I'm going to say that I think they have worse problems than issues with the World Cup right now. So.
Yeah, but you know, having a World Cup win or at least advancing out of group stage, it would just do a lot to brighten that country's spirits. So you never like to kick somebody when they're down.
We would hope that problems get resolved and
peacefully. And you know, fighting is not always the best way to do it. I mean, yes, they are bringing violence to the table, but real change is only accomplished through nonviolent actions. I mean, you can look at, you don't even have to believe me, but true, lasting, peaceful change has only been accomplished through nonviolent actions. Look at Martin Luther King, look at Gandhi. Enough said right there.
I could list a few more too, in fact, but
like I said,
yeah, you have to change people's minds so that they don't want to continue it, because no matter, you can try to eliminate everyone, but someone else is going to come up. Very likely, or everyone's going to be dead. So.
Violence begets violence, peace begets peace. I believe I pronounced that. Is it begots or begets? I'm just going to go with what I said. So, yeah. So let's take it a little bit back more into the sports. I just thought that was something that needed to be said right there. I don't know. That's just me. I don't think anybody in Nigeria is watching us, but if you are, hit us up. Let us know something in comments down below. Let us know that you found a safe place, that you're watching the game and you're enjoying it, and if it is livening your spirits, or if it's just not enough of a distraction from all the craziness going on in your country. So, again, hearts and prayers go out to you guys over there. But let's move it on to Group G, and this is where America is! Yay! And I want everybody, after this video, to go check out the American Outlaws. This is the soccer fans. The Americans are calling themselves. You just got to throw on a red, blue, white, or blue bandana, and you're part of them. And they have this really, really, really cool chant. check it out. It's on YouTube. It's awesome. Now, America, I would not. You saw my World Cup preview. I was talking about how the coach didn't even think they were going to, make it out of group play. They got lucky. They were outplayed by Ghana for about 89 minutes. But for 1 minute, literally, the first 30 seconds, and somewhere like 30 seconds in like the 80th minute, somewhere in there, they were the better team, and they beat Ghana. No idea how. Now, they're playing Portugal this week.
I know how. I know exactly how. You see, they scored more points, but they got that ball through the goal, past the goalie into the net. That was really the key to their game plan. Like, when they did that twice, as opposed to Ghana only doing it once, like, that sealed it in for them.
That's what put it over the top. I can't believe I missed that one, but yeah. I think you're right. but yeah, so they won. And now USA is going to play Portugal this Sunday. Now, Portugal just came off of one of the most embarrassing defeats I think has happened in World Cup history because, as I mentioned before, this is the group of death because you have Germany number 2 coming in and Portugal number 4. And number 4 Portugal got beat 4-0 against Germany. That's like losing 35-0 in football. I mean, it shouldn't happen, especially not on this stage. So they got crushed. And probably the stupidest play I've seen in soccer ever happened. And that was when Pepe, the great defender, world-class defender for Portugal, decided he was going to take offense to somebody flopping on him. And now flops are just part of the game now. Unfortunately, it's just a huge part of international soccer especially. But he walks over to the guy who's still on the ground and proceeds to headbutt him. And so he got a red card. And he's suspended for the next game. So that's huge for America. Now, they did lose.
What did you think he was going to accomplish from that? Like, I guess he thought he might actually injure the guy. Like, if the guy act like it, might as well give him a real injury.
And apparently this isn't the first time he's done something like that. When he feels that people are flopping, he usually goes over there and does something nasty to them. So, yeah, I don't know what he thought was going to happen. But you look at Portugal, and it was funny. I watched it, and a couple times when the score was still, around 2-0 or something, so not totally out of reach, you see Portugal advancing, and they have a good break going on, and then for some reason it just feels like they stop their momentum, and they wait. And what they're doing is it seems like they're waiting for Cristiano Ronaldo to get there. He might have been out of position, might have been doing something else somewhere else. But whenever they get close to the box, they feel that they have to go through Ronaldo. And that has just been paralyzing that team. Every single attack just seems to stop dead because either Ronaldo's not ready for it or he's just, it's forcing the situation. So you're seeing that team kind of disintegrate in front of our eyes. Now, they've only played one game so far this World Cup, so it's probably too early for me to say that. But if the U.S. comes out with a draw, it's almost assured that they're gonna move past this group. And let's talk about the class of this group, which is Germany, beating Portugal 4-0. And, I mean, you just look at them from top to bottom. They do not have a weak spot. Every position is solid. If you were going to play FIFA the soccer game, they would be like 87 for every defense, midfield, and attacker. So, I mean, they're solid. They're really solid. I actually think they're going to win the whole World Cup, so we'll see about that.
Right now?
What do you mean?
Who's
ranked number one? Spain. Spain, who got kicked out.
Out.
Yeah, and they're already out. So, hey, really by default, Germany's number 1 now.
Yeah, they're the favored. So
And let's move it on to the last group, and that is the Group H. And really, they have Korea in this group, Russia, and really, Belgium is the class of the group. Belgium's going to take it off. I don't know who else. I actually didn't even pick anybody else to win out of that group. I just picked Belgium. And in my notes it says, make fun of Russia.